on, guys? It's that blue and white V6 Stang, and today I'm gonna go to the exhaust shop to go ahead and get my exhaust fixed. As I'm driving there, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a little bit of detail on why I actually have to go and get my exhaust fixed, and explain how the incident happened which caused me to have to go get this fixed. I'm also going to see if they could go ahead and put in some resonators in with that as well, because I'm trying to tame down the sound of the exhaust, because I know once I go ahead and boost the car, it's going to get a little bit more louder, because I'm not going to go with the turbo option. I'm going to probably go ahead and move forward with the Pro Charger option. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get going. I was going to go ahead and do a walk around and start up of the car, so you guys go ahead and hear a cold start this morning, but it is actually pouring rain outside, and I didn't want to have to get all my camera equipment, my phone, my gimbal, all that wet, so I just went ahead and started off in the car for you. So to go ahead and start with the story of why I have to go get my exhaust fixed. Now, this has been going on for a little bit, and I've been dealing with this problem, but finally want to start to get the car back in running order, start heading back to the drag stripper again now that I'm done with school. I'll have a little bit more time to focus on my car. But basically, around, let's see, November last year, I went ahead and put in a one-piece drive shaft, and the car was running great. After we put it in, took the car down a undisclosed road, let's just put it that way, and took it with my dad, and the car ran fine. The drive shaft held up to about 130. Later on that night, I went to a racing meet with some of my buddies, was doing runs all night long. The car was holding up very, very well. But the last run, literally the last run that I was gonna do that night, went ahead and put the car back to where I didn't want it to be. And with that being said, I broke the one-piece drive shaft. Now, there's a couple different things I know people have said is, how on earth did you break a one-piece drive shaft? How did that even happen to begin with? And when I tell them what happens, it makes sense. So basically, I was next to a full bolt-on G37, and we were neck and neck. And I'll go ahead and throw the clip in right about here, so you guys could go ahead and see that and see what was going on that night. But we did a 20 roll. We were neck and neck, bobbing back and forward, and we were taking it all the way out. I was hitting about 150, 155, and all of a sudden I felt a loud tick inside the car, and I was wondering what that was, and literally half a second later the drive shaft exploded. Went ahead and threw the car instantly into neutral to go ahead and prevent the transmission from getting messed up, and slowly got on the brakes. ABS was kicking in because the front brakes and rear brakes weren't connected by the drive shaft, and it wasn't giving correct signals between the different ABS sensors that were on the wheels. So went ahead and pulled off to the side and looked underneath, and sure enough, when I looked underneath the car, the drive shaft was busted. At first, I thought that I blew my rear pinion seal on my diff, just because of the simple fact I saw a lot of grease and a lot of grime underneath. But I later on found out, after taking the car apart and getting underneath to put the stock two-piece back inside the car, it was just the grease that was in the CV joint. The drive shaft I had was from the Driveshaft shop. But went ahead and called them and told them what happened, and they felt bad and apologized for that happening. They said that shouldn't have happened, so they actually went ahead and sent me a replacement one for free. And also the upgraded one. I started off with the 3.5 inch one, and they sent me the 4-inch one. Obviously, I paid the difference between the two, but I didn't have to pay for shipping, and they sort of replaced it under warranty for me. But after that, I went ahead and started doing some research and found out that it could have been caused, the drive shaft exploding could have been caused by my pinion angle not staying in alignment with my transmission angle. And I found out, and I sort of knew this already, but I sort of found out now that as you're going faster, your car gets slower because of aerodynamics. And I found out when it was getting lower, it was pushing the pinion angle more and more and more out of alignment, and the one-piece drive shaft doesn't articulate in the middle like the two-piece drive shaft, which I believe is what caused it to fail. So I went ahead and ordered a lot of different suspension parts basically to finish off the suspension on the car and sort of adjust the pinion angle as well. I got lower control arms, relocation brackets, upper adjustable control arm, and the relocation bracket for the upper control arm as well. It doesn't relocate the actual position of the bracket, but it'll go ahead and change the location of where you could mount it on the 3 different holes. All my suspension parts are BMR besides my springs. Those are Elibach Sport lines. There's a 1.5 inch drop around the car. But I got into my buddy's shop, and me and my dad, we put all the control arms on, all the brackets, measured the pinion angle the best that we could, and took it out of the shop. And now I'm having some drive shaft issues again. So I have an appointment at Steeda next week, May 7th, for them to go ahead and take the car in and basically tune up the suspension. I'm taking it to Steeda because they're the ones that did my rear gears, and they did a marvelous job putting them in. No gear whine whatsoever, had no problems, just absolutely wonders with their work. They're located down here in Pompano, Florida, and they do just wonderful work. I've seen their cars do wonderful times at the track. They have a NA 2018 GT, I think that's running close to 9s right now, mid 9s, and that was a couple months ago when the transmission ECU was still locked because they haven't cracked it yet. But I'm taking it to them so they could go ahead and take a look at it. But to get back onto my main point, I have to take the car to a muffler shop, Best Muffler. They're located in Lantana, Florida, and I'm gonna have them fix the exhaust because it all got banged up from the drive shaft when it broke. It basically became a blender down there. Now, I said this earlier, but I'm also going to have to see if they could go ahead and put in some resonators just to go ahead and help tame down the sound, to go ahead and help with the car, because it's a little raspy. I like the setup when I first got it, but I want something that's a little bit more throaty. It's throaty now with the Longtubes and Catless X, but I want to take that edge off of it so it's not just that ear-piercing loud. And they're going to go ahead and put those pipes in for me, and hopefully they have some resonators in stock. I'd like to see if they have MagnaFlow glass packs, but chances are they may not have those in stock. Everyone always puts those in on their Stangs, and they sound really, really nice. And hopefully I could go ahead and get that fixed today. I didn't make an appointment. I didn't think I would need one, but we'll see as we go there. One of my friends was going to meet me there, but he had to work late last night, and I don't think he'll be showing up, so I'm just going to start heading there, and if he's there, I'll meet him there. If not, just go it alone and talk to the guy and see what we could go ahead. The drive shaft exploded. It was one hell of a sound, I'll tell you that. And you could definitely tell underneath the car that it did some damage and did some carnage. In the floor pan of the car, it actually punched holes down in the center console here underneath, and I wonder if that's why I'm starting to hear a little bit of sound underneath there. But I also crushed the pipes. I got 3-inch exhaust going from the back, about that big, and now since the exhaust got crushed, the exhaust is sitting at about that big. It crushed the hell out of it, so definitely want to get that fixed. And once I get my suspension set up by Steeda May 7th next Tuesday, hoping to go to the track and see if I can crack into the 12s. I definitely think the car has a 12 in it. I just hope the track is prepped good. I don't have any drag tires yet. I'm still on street radials. Nitto NT55 G2 Summer Ultra High Performance tires. They've gripped nice so far, but at the track, when I torque the car up and drop it from second to first to go ahead and get that little bit of extra push to lock that torque converter up a little further. It spins its ass off once I launch, or if I launch too low to prevent it from spinning, it bogs. So a torque converter definitely will be in my future to go ahead and get a higher stall, so I could go ahead and launch the car close to 3, maybe 3,500, 4,000, get a trans brake and sort of bump in. I think 100% once I go ahead and do that, I definitely could be into the mid 12s. But for right now, I'm trying to get into 12.8, 12.9 on stock converter. It'd be real nice to see that. And then if I threw some drag tires on, a drag setup, bigs and skinnies, I definitely think that I could go ahead and get into a real nice time before I even boost. I was thinking if I could go ahead and get a 12.7 before boost, I know I'd be running the car pretty much max the way it is. I'm not trying to do any weight reduction in the car. I really like the interior of the car. It's the premium. I want to keep it nice inside here. I'm not trying to gut it. And with these cars, even when gutting the car, you really don't lose too much weight because everything inside here is plastic. I mean, hell, I had the rear seats out from when I was doing the upper control arm at my friend's shop, and those seats, they're out right there, you can see. They were out, and shit, my phone. Definitely got to get a new mount for my phone, that's for sure. I'm tired of this thing falling off the window. But with that being said, to get back on topic, sorry about that. To get back on topic, definitely no point in taking out the rear seats inside the car. Only took out the rear seat in the back, and it came out to like 2 or 3 pounds itself. So rear seats inside the S197s don't take out much weight. I think you'd get a little bit more weight from taking out the spare tire and the stuff inside the trunk. That's where I think you would go ahead and get your weight reduction from. But with that being said, weight reduction is not definitely something that I'm trying to do to the car to try to get the times that I'm looking for. Getting on the highway here. Ground's still too little wet over here. Gotta chill out. I normally love getting on this on-ramp because the faster you go on this, the easier it is to merge, because if you're not going fast on this exit, it's a pain in the ass. If I can get over here. assistant from my work. I had to deal with something real quick off the phone. I apologize I couldn't get the accelerations right off the bat right after I got it, but I will do a little bit as I get off the highway here. But I can tell you right now from the start, I understand the exhaust pipes were banged up, but I tell you what, it sounds so much better. And I think a lot of the reason why I had noise in my cabin was, one, I have holes in the floor pan around the car, so I definitely have to look into getting those fixed. I got to find out where they are and sort of just pound them out from the inside and find some way to seal it up that'll cut out some noise. But also, now that all the pipes are complete in the hole, that there's not air leaking out, all the noise is finally coming out the back of the car again, which is what I want, which is the way it was from the beginning. But now that it's back there, it sounds so much better. It's with the combination of the resonators and the exhaust getting fixed up, it's exactly what I've looked for from the beginning. You know, it's a lot of people are like, oh, you're gonna put resonators, and my brother saw my Snapchat already and he was like, damn, you put resonators in there? I'm like, hey man, it sounds so much better. I told him once he get home, I'll go ahead and rev it up for him so he can hear, but it sounds miraculous compared to the way it was before. I'm sure you guys could probably tell the cabin's a little bit quieter between the two videos, but getting off the highway here in a minute and I'll be back with some pulls so you can go ahead and hear it and see what it sounds like. Already just got off the highway. Ooh, got a little squirrely there, jeez. Sounded a lot better, that's for sure. I'm going to shut up here so you can listen. Definitely sounds a lot better, that's for sure. 100%. When I get home, I'll go ahead and do some outside revs for you so you could go ahead and hear it. Alrighty guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a little exhaust clip again. I know I did it in my last video, but now that I got the exhaust fixed and have the resonators in as well, I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera up here and we're going to go ahead and get the video going for you. Also, when I was at the muffler shop, we went ahead and straightened up the tips as well, so they're looking real nice as well. So we'll go ahead and set the camera down. I'll get in the car and do the video. It is a little bit, but it should still sound pretty decent for you guys. Alrighty, so there's the exhaust clip for you guys. Again, if you have any questions on the setup, feel free to message me. I think the resonators and the exhaust getting fixed definitely has helped change the tone of the car. And I'm really enjoying the sound, especially the fact that it doesn't resonate so hard inside the cabin, inside the car anymore. So, now the car is super dirty. Probably will be washed probably sometime this weekend. We do have some rain still coming today. Nothing too much, but you know, it's Florida. But for right now, see you guys later. Catch you in the next video.